With the 60th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Jeremy Brown from Oklahoma State.
Ah, this guy? And he's terrible.
Good night, everyone, and thanks for coming.
There's my guy.
Your guy? Your guy was told by his agent that he was going to be a late first round, maybe second round draft pick. Your guy's supposed to be in New York with the rest of those chumps. Your guy's about to blow his freaking lid because his dream of being in the NBA is still just a dream.
Hey, chill, man. I know this isn't how we wanted it to go down. Believe me. Like I told you, you're my last best hope at the agency. If you wash out, I wash out with you. But I was thinking, maybe this was the best thing that could have happened to you.
How you figure that, genius?
Better to go undrafted and have a choice than to be picked late by a stacked playoff team where your chances of making the team are about as high as my chances of dating a supermodel, which, despite my contagious charm, are pretty freaking slim.
So what's the move, man?
This just affects our timing, okay? You just gotta keep working hard and be ready. Injuries, overhyped draft picks. Sooner or later, players are gonna wash out and they are going to call you. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Good. Remember, Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team and made fools pay for it the rest of his career. Use the draft day slight as motivation. A chip on your shoulder at the beginning of a long journey. And like every journey, this one begins with a single step. So your first step is to keep working hard. And we'll find you a home before you know it.
All right, man. I'm believing in you, bro. Make it happen. Undrafted, basketball has been my life since day one. What am I gonna do now? This can't be the end. Is my dream really dead?
Okay. I know you've been staying in shape, working hard on your game, waiting for your shot.
Yeah, so when's that gonna be? Because you told me not getting picked was a good thing.
It was. It was. This is America. Freedom of choice and all that good stuff. And that is why I'm here. Now is the time. Teams are able to offer 10-day contracts at this point, and I've been on the phone nonstop. There's some definite interest in you.
What's that mean? I get to pick where I want to go?
Whoa. It's not that easy, my friend. But there are several teams willing to give you a little tryout, see if it makes sense for them to sign you.
Listen, man. First of all, you're not my friend. You're my agent. And second, where's the list? Because I'm ready to play.
Keep in mind that these teams have varying levels of interest. If you want the 10-day deal, you're going to have to work a lot harder to impress some of these teams than others.
Man, I don't care about that. Where's the list?
Okay, here's the list. Let me know where you want to go, and I'll make it happen.
You obviously didn't have the kind of college career or pre-draft workouts that justify being drafted. But we saw enough in your game to bring you in for a look. What you do with that chance is all on you. You'll be running with the 2s against the 1s, so nothing's going to come easy. Obviously, this team has some veteran leadership and some explosive young talent. But we wouldn't have brought you out here if we didn't have legitimate interest. So the time for talk is over. Let's see what kind of game you got.
Man, I got all the game you need. Believe that.
Well, you gave it your best out there, son, but sometimes that's just not good enough.
What are you saying? That's it?
I don't have time to beat around the bush here, so yeah, that's it.
No, you gotta give me another chance. One scrimmage is not enough to show what I can do. I belong in this league.
Maybe, but not with this team. You didn't do enough today to show us that your game fits what we need right now. Doesn't mean you can't catch on somewhere else. Thanks for coming out, though.
I'm gonna find another team. This ain't over.
You handled yourself pretty well at the pre-draft workouts. But that's not quite the same thing as playing with real men in the NBA, now is it? Now listen, we don't bring guys all the way out here because we don't think they can contribute to this team. We've got a good mix of veterans and some young players here, but we could always use some fresh legs and some game. You'll be running with the twos against the ones. So let's see if every GM in this league was wrong for not drafting you. Because if you prove you belong, all the talent evaluators were idiots.
Oh, I belong, all right. Ain't no doubt in my mind, Coach.
Where you headed?
Oh, locker room, shower up.
Good. I just hope none of that game you just showcased washes off.
What? Man, this stuff don't wash off. It's part of who I am. It's in my DNA, yo.
Easy. Your jersey ain't in the rafters yet.
Yeah, but
you lit it up out there. And everyone in this gym, including the GM and the head man, saw it.
Alright, so what's that supposed to mean?
It means if there's any way to get you here, we're gonna do it. Now get out of here. We'll be in touch.
Alright, I'm looking forward to it. Move, man. What are you doing?
We got our foot in the door. The Hornets have offered you a 10-day deal.
Why not a year?
Because you're an undrafted, unproven commodity. But they saw enough to take a flyer on you. So you have exactly 10 days, 240 freaking hours to show that you belong. You perform, you got a shot at a guaranteed deal for the rest of the season. We both live to breathe another day. You don't, you got a shot at being last in a long line of might-have-beens. I'm probably out on the street, too. Living in this rat hole.
Hold up, rat hole? This is all I can afford because you didn't get me drafted.
Let's call it a charming fixer-upper. Now pack your bags. We're going to the show.
Yeah, boy. I'm going to the league. I got my foot in the door, and I'm going to kick this sucker down, man.
You better. I don't want to ruin any more suits sitting on these vermin-infested couches of yours.
Man, it's my house you talking about. Finally, I'm in the league.
You did well in the workout and in the scrimmage.
He's a baller. You give him a legit shot, and he's going to make the most of it. I mean, when it comes down to crunch time, there's no one...
10 days, my man. We'll see if he can swim with the big fish. If he does, he might have a shot to be signed for the rest of the year. He might even find himself a spot in the rotation. If not, son, he's back on the streets. You ready?
I'm ready, willing, and able, sir. You'll see.
Good. Get out of here. You too.
So you the rookie that's gonna shock the world, huh?
Sure as heck gonna try.
Good. I'm glad you are here. Just remember, it's all out there for you. Work hard, listen, watch how we do. And you got a chance to do something special. Now let's see what you got.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm pumped. Let's do it.
We've got basketball action at the AT&T Center. We're in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. Alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Ginobili, he's checked in for Bellinelli. Well, Steve, a big moment here. We get a glimpse coming off the bench of the first official NBA appearance from Powell. Well, Clark, here's a guy with quite the story. Didn't get picked on draft day. Couldn't find a team until this point in the season.
Well, Kevin, you know because of that he's going to be playing motivated. Often events like that will give a player an added edge, and I don't think there's anybody in the building more motivated than he is.
And Charlotte, looking at who they've got. Powell in at shooting guard. Zeller and Johnson are the bigs. Kemba Walker is out there with Lance Stevenson. In transition, here come the Spurs. Here's Parker. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. And it's 8 points for Parker.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there. It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set. Manu Ginobili has always been one of my favorite guys to watch and an elite shooting guard on the court. I mean, the issue with him has been health. You know, last season he missed about a month with a tweaked hamstring, right as the Spurs went on their rodeo road trip.
Parker drives in.
You know, there aren't many guys like him, players who can accelerate to the rim and finish with a flourish more often than not.
There's a good screen. Walker gets a screen from Powell. San Antonio with the rebound. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it. Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
Lock at 6. And Parker, here we go. And another basket for San Antonio.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there. And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Stevenson kicks to Powell. Back to Stevenson. Powell inside. Guarded by Green. The shot is off. Spurs trail by 5. Parker kicks to Ginobili. And he gets it to go. Ginobili's got 4 points this quarter.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will. Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Spurs have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 5th assist in this one. Walker dishes to Stevenson. 50 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Jefferson, and terrific work on the offensive glass when he picks up 2. Jefferson's got 12 points in the game. Parker kicks to Duncan. It's Ginobili on the wing. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Charlotte leading by 3. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Powell kicks to Walker. Stevenson outside. Here's the screen. Walker goes in. Here's Jefferson, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Jefferson's got 6 points in the quarter.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And the first half ends in a close one. It's Charlotte leading by 5. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close as the first if we pay attention to a couple of things. To begin with, we're shooting the ball at a very good percentage. And the way to keep that going is to continue to work the ball around and find good looks, open looks. Don't get away from that. Something we're going to need if we're going to win this game are second chance points. And so far, that's the one thing that we've been getting. Keep hitting the offensive boards hard. And let's talk about our pace. We need to start the third quarter with patience and poise. I want to see us work for those good looks, careful passing, and smart decision making. This game shouldn't be as close as it is. We're the better team. You know it, I know it, and they know it. Now let's get out there and prove it.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard. And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
That'll do it for now. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us.
bad news is you played like a 50-year-old record league bum, and we lost the game. You're supposed to ask what the good news is.
What's the good news?
The good news is I don't think it's possible for you to play any worse.
Is this supposed to be making me feel better?
Nah, man. It's supposed to make you understand this ain't just you. We all got a lot of work to do if we're going to do something special this year. So put this one behind you, learn from it, and move on, all right?
Yeah, all right. But a 50-year-old bum, though?
If the shoe fits.
Come on, man.
Welcome to 2K Sports Live Saturday night coverage of the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, and on the sideline, Doris Burke. And a one-game homestand for Denver as the Nuggets will try to recharge their batteries on their home court. Still out of the lineup is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. They want him healthy.
Yeah, I hear you, Kevin, but really it's an issue for both teams in regards to the injury situation. So it's a matter of which team can rise up and show the fortitude necessary to play through the injuries and still come out on top.
Now, there's probably a lot of sympathy these teams have.
The Nuggets leading by 8. It's not very often you can say this about the future is looking pretty bright in Charlotte.
So often the season ends and you're thinking about the issues you got to deal with, but right now the Hornets heading in a good direction.
And for Charlotte, Zeller and Johnson are the bigs. Kemba Walker is out there with the prodigy. And it's Stevenson in at the 3 slot. And for the Nuggets, Fareed and Marsgard in the middle. Boyle is out there with Lawson, and it's a Flello in at the 3 spot.
And for Charlotte, as you said, part of it is feeling good with their direction, but also they should feel good that they actually have a direction after the way the last few years have gone.
They get it back.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
The shot's good from Lawson.
They've done a lot of good work with the ball, really moving both the ball and moving bodies, getting quality chances at the hoop.
And they're not wasting chances when they get them. I mean, they're hitting their shots. You know, having a direction, as you mentioned, had been a problem with Charlotte because they seem to change their minds every year about who they were going to be, and they did it for the last decade or so. Now it seems as though the base is solid, and they've got an idea of how they want to build and who they want to build around, and they've got a group that can grow together.
Puts up the baby hook. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought, they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case.
Walker gets a screen from Powell. Walker goes in. Shoots from the line, and it's wide right. It's off the rim. The Nuggets leading by 12. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, JaVale McGee has all the tools necessary to be a great player, but often he can be his own greatest obstacle. But he and Coach Shaw are working on that. Coach Shaw said, "I'm just trying to get him to slow down." That's what we've been working on with him, just to slow down so he can use the gifts that he has, his length and his athletic ability. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. And as you said, McGee is so gifted athletically that he'll be a force when he lets the game come to him. Stevenson with it. Now Lawson defending. 4 on the clock. Fade away. Misses off the left iron.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area they just can't afford to get lazy with.
You know, I think the effort's been there, Steve, but they're still getting outworked. Just by a skosh.
Fareed, a screen on Stevenson. The shot's good from Lawson. Lawson's got 10 points in the game.
What an amazing trick shot to confound the defender. Oh, man, that's awesome. He's taking him to school right there.
And Walker kicks to Powell. With the fadeaway. Can't get it to go. And Denver the other way now. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
And it's hard to point out anything that they did well in that loss. And the game never got out of hand, but they were pretty shaky across the board.
And, Steve, you know how optimistic and positive I am, and I had a tough time finding anything positive either. I mean, my goodness, they did keep it somewhat close. I guess that's the best I can say at this point.
Well, what's the old saying? If you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all.
Lawson outside. Fires for three. And Foy hits again from deep. Foy's got 13.
I like the way they picked it up here offensively in the second. Well, they've really caught fire. Their shooting percentage is in the high 50s now, so they're rolling. It just hasn't been a very good day for them, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Steve Kenneth Fareed really raised in the game. There's so many great stories when he was young. He was challenged by his family in so many ways on the basketball.
Yeah, the story goes that his father once dunked on him and said, never let anybody do that on you again. And apparently his mother told him they'd never pass him the ball unless he was tough enough to go get the rebound. So, tough love, but apparently it worked.
Now, here is Foy, covered by Powell. Mozgov with the bucket. Mozgov's got 6 points in the quarter.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Walker the pass to Stevenson. 1:30 left in the second quarter. Right block shot. Jefferson with the bucket, getting it done inside. Jefferson's got his second basket of the night. Here's the Nuggets with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Aflalo with a screen on Walker. Lawson drives in. And Fareed kicks to Foy. Pass to Lawson. And Aflalo wide open. He shoots. Offensive rebound. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
Kevin, here we can get a look at Charlotte and what kind of numbers they've put up these last 10 games. Third in three-point shooting. Third in fewest turnovers per game. You know, they also show up in the top 5 in opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
Well, and you talked about the free throw shooting. That's what jumps out at me, Clark. And when you shoot well from the foul line, it allows you to close games so much easier because those are easy points, and you get your defense set up at the other end because the clock is stopped.
35 seconds left in the first half. And again, it's Denver.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Yeah, they're getting exposed right now.
Stevenson kicks to Powell. Excellent D there from Aflalo.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
Here's Lawson. Fareed. That is in there. Lawson with the assist.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Denver on top, opening up a huge gap. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Okay, listen. Let's just put that first half behind us as quickly as possible. Here's what I took away from it. We've given them too many points at the foul line. Let's cut down on all the contact. I don't want a bunch of guys with foul trouble in the second half. And another thing I'm happy with is how well we've passed the ball. Our assist numbers are very encouraging. And I don't want the score dictating our tempo. Let's keep things calm. Our offense will operate better if we take things slow. We're going to need some breaks to get back into this game, but we can't sit back and wait for them to happen. Let's go out there and create those breaks.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
A solid quarter for Foy. 15 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping.
Let's go. You're up.
My time.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Biombo, he's checked in for Jefferson. Henderson comes in for Williams. Gary Neal's checked in for Lance Stevenson. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Walker. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Inside, Cody Zeller and Bismack Biombo. Brian Roberts out there with Gary Neal. And it's Henderson in at the 3. They get it back. The shot's good from Fareed. Fareed's got his third basket of the night.
Him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Mozgov, he's checked in for the Nuggets. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Powell's checked in.
And you could tell he was nervous in his first game. Didn't exactly wow anybody watching. And, of course, his team lost as well.
Well, he's got a lot to work on if he's...
And what a feeling it's got to be for this young player is that last bucket represents the first official score in the NBA from Powell.
First of many, I would expect, Kevin. He's going to be piling up points for many years to come.
Guys, no reason to think otherwise. I mean, everything we know and everything we've seen from this guy so far point to an illustrious career.
Robinson dishes to Mozgov. The layup off target. Here's Powell. No good. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Nuggets on top, running away with this one. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Coming up next Monday night, February 2nd, Lance Stevenson and the Charlotte Hornets take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Don't miss it.
And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, with this assist, he shows you just what a well-rounded guard he really is. Kind of a combo guard, even though he's listed as a shooting guard. Really a diverse offensive skill set.
We're almost seeing more of that, aren't we? Well, it's like guys that have skills that can play both those positions.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's Roberts. Aflalo is out there with Wilson Chandler. Then there's Foy. Then there's Hickson. And it's Robinson in at the 1. That's the group in the game for the Nuggets. Roberts passes to Powell. Charlotte moving the ball around. 5 on the clock. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Henderson's got the first basket. As we get going in the fourth for Charlotte. Denver leading by 21. Robinson goes in, and that one's good.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
The Hornets shooting a meager 37% for the game. It's stolen by Foy. Jefferson with the rebound. Jefferson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. That's good.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Outside Robinson.
The big story from last year was that the NBA finally was able to come to an agreement with the Silna brothers. They were owners from the ABA who had a huge stake in the media rights of the NBA.
Hornets trail by 21. And Roberts kicks to Zeller. Second chance shot, and it's Jefferson.
And his confidence has come back since halftime after really a rough first 2 quarters.
The Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Jefferson against Hickson. Here's Foy. That's good. And the Nuggets lead by 21. Well, the Silna brothers out of St. Louis, they own the St. Louis franchise, and when the ABA and NBA merged, they cut a deal to get about 2% of the NBA's TV revenue with no end in sight.
And Kevin, one of the greatest deals in the history of deal making across all industries is that deal the Silna brothers were able to cut, but it has finally been negotiated away. With the way the NBA has become a global phenomenon with televisions across the globe, that was the best deal, as I just said, ever made. I'm happy they were able to put a cap on that deal for the owners that are now in the NBA.
And I'd like to make the announcement now. We're changing our names. That's Clark Silna. I'm Kevin Silna. Goodbye, everybody. The Nuggets leading by 19 points. Outside. Robinson, a follow outside. Out to Chandler. He dishes it to Ford. And there's another one for the Nuggets. Here's Roberts. Well, the popularity of the three-pointer at an all-time high. Steven, I'm sure you can appreciate that. The league even discussed adding a 4-point line.
Yeah.
What about that?
Please, make this go away, Kevin. I mean, it's just crazy. It's way too extreme. I think even the three-point shot is probably overdone to this point. So I would say 100% no, I'm against a 4-pointer.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter. Now, no good with the layup. The Nuggets have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Robinson dishes to Hickson. Inside, here's a Flalo. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
And if you think about the 4-point line and the possibility of that, a lot of players already shoot from way beyond the 3-point line. Guys like Steph Curry, Jamal Crawford. I think it would be exciting to see. I don't think we'll go there, but I'd want the distance to be far enough away from the goal that players wouldn't shoot those 4-pointers all the time. It would be a specialty shot, and one that would become a real significant part of the game.
And I think some have worried that a 4-point line would make the league too perimeter oriented. I think it's insane. I mean, the 3-point line already stretches the floor and gives you an advantage if you have outside shooting. A 4-point line, to me, is beyond a rule. It's like a gimmick. I don't think it's going to happen.
Kenneth Fareed, he's checked in for the Nuggets. Lawson comes in for Robinson. And then for Charlotte, Marvin Williams is checked in for Henderson. Lance Stevenson comes in for the Prodigy. And it's Kemba Walker in for Brian Roberts. Wilson Chandler, a versatile forward, Steve, in his 7th season out of DePaul.
I like him, Kevin. I mean, he's strong enough to play inside, quick enough to guard on the perimeter, and then he's got that 3-point range on his shot. So, very versatile player.
Now, Lawson. Hickson sets the screen for Lawson. Now the feed to Ford. 6 on the shot clock. Almost, but it rolls out.
And Wilson Chandler, 2 seasons now removed from hip surgery, showing no ill effect last season as he started at the small forward spot in the place of the injured Danilo Gallinari.
Walker's shot is off.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
Randy Foye is on the way. Lawson the pass to Chandler. Back to Lawson. Shoots from 12. And again, Denver no good.
What you like about Chandler, an inside-out scoring threat, and he's an explosive finisher around the rim, too, with shooting range that stretches out beyond the arc.
Jefferson gets the bucket.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Now, here is Ford. Here's Fareed. He trains the turnaround jump shot.
Got him with the turnaround there. That was as sweet as honey.
Hornets trail by 21. Williams kicks to Walker. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. A different look for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Hickson. Robinson is subbed in for Randy Ford. Stevenson kicks to Williams. No good on the triple. The Nuggets leading by 22. Lawson outside. Pass to Robinson. Fareed a screen on Stevenson. Chandler kicks to McGee. Ball's knocked loose. One-on-one fast break. Here's Stevenson. Lays it up and banks it in. Stevenson's got 9 points now in the quarter.
His shooting has been so good today, he may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
For the Nuggets, Hickson comes in for JaVale McGee. And it's Foy in for Ty Lawson. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Powell, he's jacked in for Walker. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth quarter. Robinson drives in. Good.
I give him credit. He didn't have much confidence going in the first half. But he's picking up the pace here.
Charlotte has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Powell dishes to Jefferson. Fader on the way, and Charlotte again with the bucket.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating performance for the Nuggets.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And boy, they've gotten their revenge tonight. They dropped the first matchup earlier in the year, but tonight they even things up. 1-1 on the season against the Hornets.
Feeds it to Powell. And the shot is good.
Well, their offense has kicked into gear, but seems to have arrived a little bit too late.
And as a coach, that can really be frustrating. I mean, your guys were stumbling along for most of the game, and now, when it's basically over, they finally decide to come alive.
Chandler, the pass to Fareed. He feeds it to Robinson. 4 on the shot clock. And the shot is good. And the Nuggets lead by 20.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
The offensive rebound, Jefferson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
So both teams changing it up here. And both free throws good for Jefferson. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth. Harris outside. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. Not much to be critical of in this ring, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Nate, what does this performance tonight tell you about this team, and what happens out there on the court when you guys are having some success?
For us as a team, we just got to play hard. That's what we did tonight. We let a couple wins get away from us these past 2 games. Tonight, we just came in, just try to play as hard as we can, and we did that.
You certainly did, Nate. Thanks for the time. Guys?
And as always, Doris, thank you. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve, and Doris, and the rest of the crew, Kevin Harlan saying, see you next time.
UGLY.
Man, ugly doesn't even begin to describe what happened out there.
What would you call it?
Sorry, pathetic, garbage, embarrassing.
Just gotta let it go. Get back at it tomorrow. Study some film, see what we did wrong, hit the weight room, get some treatment, make up for the next time out.
Good idea. The quicker we get back out there, the quicker we can leave this nightmare behind us. Let's hit it.
Well, I'm sailing.
Seems like we've been here before. Yes, it is Groundhog Day. And we welcome you to this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, this is Kevin Hart. Here at the Verizon Center, the fans in Washington, D.C. amped up for their Wizards. The big story, the return of Al Jefferson from being injured.
Well, they lost a bit off their fastball when he was on the sideline with that injury, guys. Things really started to unravel for him shortly after he got hurt, and they couldn't quite piece it back together.
Yeah, and it wasn't just in their playing ability, Clark. It was their energy level.
Washington making some changes. Serafin comes in for Gortat, and it's Blair in for Nene. The Hornets also with a sub. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Al Jefferson. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Walker runs the point with Stevenson flanking him. Henderson out there with Marvin Williams. And it's Zeller in at the 5, roaming the paint. 6 to shoot. Puts one up from 19. And that one's good by Stevenson. Stevenson's got his second bucket of the night.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Miller's checked in for Bradley Beal. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Charlotte. The prodigy comes in for Kemba Walker. Well, the Bobcats then, now Hornets, might have been a little bit late to the analytics movement, but that's going on in the NBA all over the place. And they're full-time on it now.
Yeah, they're all over it. Last season, they had a half dozen of their staff devoted to analytics.
Kid Gilchrist, no luck.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Wall against Kid Gilchrist. Wall passes to Webster. Back to Wall. Off the left rim and out.
Tell you what, if there's success on the boards in this first quarter is any indication, it's going to be a good day.
And rebounds usually are a good indicator.
Henderson kicks to Powell. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. And the Hornets lead by 4. So it's Washington now, outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And that result was no surprise, Clark, because they played very loose with the ball that night.
Yeah, they were carefree. Footloose and fancy-free with the ball doesn't get it done. And how often do we see it, Steve? The team that loses the turnover battle loses the game.
3 on the clock. Miller outside, and he gets it to go. Miller's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Charlotte is gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Here's Powell, 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. And so it's Washington with it. It's a 3-point game. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, Randy Whitman gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We talked about the impact players on these two teams, the ones who can take over a game single-handedly. And he told me that Michael Kid Gilchrist may already be in that category. He said he's a guy we've got to account for. He's just so relentless. If you're not ready to match his intensity level, he'll make you look bad. And Kevin, he said if they can limit his impact on the game, that will certainly help.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Powell. And he overshot that one, missing.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Seraphin dishes to Miller. Webster outside. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Zeller's got 5 rebounds tonight. While we have a quick chance here, let's now take a look at some point guards who have been dead on target from the floor over the course of the past 10 games. Second, John Wall.
Well, as a point guard, you want to create the best shot possible for your team on every trip. And given the way those players have shot the ball, it might always be a good idea for them to do it alone.
I don't really want to see them doing that, Steve. They got to keep everything in the framework of the team no matter how well they're shooting it. I know what you mean. They have been hot, but keep everybody involved.
And Washington making a change here. Rice is checked in. Wall passes to Miller. Seraphin with the ball. He's against Zeller. Shot by Seraphin. No good. Kid Gilchrist against Wall. It's stolen by Wall. Oh, and here we go. Wall's got it. The fast break chance. Stolen. A fast break now for Charlotte. Here's Henderson. Wall with some nice D.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
The dish to Rice. 26 seconds left to play in the first. Nice D from Williams. Henderson kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Washington with the rebound, getting their first look of the season at this Hornets team.
And over the course of last season, they dropped the majority of their games when facing this team.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break. Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about him.
Here's Henderson. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. tie game in Washington. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
Tune in this Thursday, February 5th. John Wall and the Washington Wizards go up against Al Jefferson and the Charlotte Hornets. It's a battle in the Southeast Division. Be there.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Wizards, guys.
Boy, a ton of threes in that.
Here's Group getting ready for the Wizards. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Gortat. Blair comes in for Nene. Artel Webster, he's checked in for Glenn Rice Jr. And John Wall subbed in for Andre Miller. And then for Charlotte, Cody Zeller's checked in for Williams. The Prodigy comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Walker subbed in for Brian Roberts. On the court for the Hornets, Powell in at 2 guard. Zeller and Johnson are the bigs. Kemba Walker is out there with Lance Stevenson.
Juwan Blair is undersized at 6'7", playing the power forward spot, but he's wide, he's got great length, and he's extremely active on the offensive glass, and really has a nice knack for finishing inside.
Charlotte making a switch here. Kid Gilchrist is checked in. Wizards have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Beal dishes to Blair. Seraphin inside. He's against Zeller. Shot's good for Seraphin. And for Blair, the question marks have been more at the defensive end of the floor, Steve.
Well, yeah, because it's harder for him, Kevin. He just doesn't have that height. He's got the size and the strength, but not the height. So there's certain matchups that are tough for him. But I think overall, Blair's been